Hello and welcome to today's Yin Foundations class, where we will be focusing on embracing stillness. Let's go ahead and start today, just finding an easy seat at the center of your mat. Take an inhale, making sure your spine is tall and long. Now, if you have trouble sitting with a tall posture here and have some rounding through the low back, then try sitting on the edge of a pillow or a bolster, just placing it under the hips to give them a little bit of a tilt forward. From here, let's take an inhale as you lengthen through the spine again. And as you exhale, allow the shoulders to fall down and away from the ears. And begin taking just a few moments to settle in here, to check in with yourself before we get started with our poses today. Begin to simply notice the natural rhythm of your breath, following the rise of the belly with each inhale, and noticing its fall with each long and slow exhale. Again, inhale, inviting mindfulness and awareness into your body. And exhale, giving the mind permission to be still, to allow other thoughts, worries, or to-dos just be set aside until later. Take inventory of the state of your mind, your thoughts, emotions, as well as your physical state. This helps bring mindfulness into our practice to make it more beneficial. So with just a few more moments left here, I'd invite you to go inward and maybe set an intention for your practice today. If your eyes are closed, I'd invite you to open them now. Remaining in a seated position, we're going to begin with the seated reach. So first, make sure you have that tall, straight spine, sitting on the edge of something if you need a little help here. Then as you exhale, maintaining a flat back, begin to walk the hands forward. And then we're going to turn the palms around, fingers facing down, wrist away from the body. And we're just going to lean into the hands here, taking a bit of a stretch through the forearms, the wrists, and the hands, as well as going into our back with this gentle forward fold. Draw a deep inhale into the low belly space. And exhale fully and slowly, maybe allowing the chin to drop toward the chest. Just allowing the whole body to be heavy here. With intention, drawing those breaths into those areas of stiffness or tension. And with each exhale, imagine that tension melting out of the body. Part of what really helps our yin practice is this focus on the breath. So first we want to get into the pose, finding our edge, that place where we feel deep and effective stretch happening, but no pain. And then we want to settle in there, finding the stillness, getting out of the mind as we begin to come deeper into the body. Again, inhale, noticing that breath. And exhale fully and slowly, all the air leaving the lungs. Noticing how this full and long exhale can help release tension, maybe help you go a little deeper into the pose. The breath is a wonderful tool for this practice. It is an anchor for our focus and awareness. So every time we notice the mind wander, our job is to simply be aware of what's happening mentally, physically, and then bring our awareness and attention back to that breath, back to the anchor. Energy flows where attention goes. So be mindful of what you're giving your energy and attention to. Stay focused on that breath, you guys. We have about 30 more seconds here. Wonderful job. With your next exhale, release the hands, gently rolling the spine back up one vertebrae at a time. And in your own time, find your way onto your back for a short rebound. Our rebounds are like a mini Savasana. So we're resting with the arms at the sides, palms facing up. Shoulder blades gently tucked down and back. And as we're here, simply feel the echo of that first pose we did. Any shifts that have occurred mentally, physically, or emotionally. Maybe notice the change of flow through the body, any areas slightly tingling or buzzing. Our rebounds are important in this practice in order to allow the fascia time to come back slowly after a long hold, especially if we're going to take the spine or hips in the opposite direction in the next pose. But this is also a wonderful time to simply expand your awareness, to notice how this practice is having an effect on you. All right, with your next exhale, gently turn over onto your left side and take your time as you meet me in tabletop on the hands and knees at the back of the mat. Here, it's important to make sure we're starting out with the hips aligned directly above the knees and the shoulders above the wrists. Then from here, we're going to begin slowly walking the hands forward, maintaining that hip position. So take a peek back if you need to. Make sure those hips aren't coming forward or sinking back. And here we have a few variations we can take. So the first one is to simply extend the arms, resting the forehead on the mat. Now, if this is difficult to get the forehead that low, you can place a block or something like a pillow under the forehead. Now, if that still isn't enough support, then you can take a bolster, or I use a thick rolled yoga mat as a bolster, or a rolled blanket or anything of the sort will work. And we're just going to place this under the chest, just beneath the armpits. So here you have a little extra support to allow the weight of your body to rest down onto this prop. Begin to breathe deeply into this pose. Inhaling each time into the dantian. This is our energy center between the belly button and the pubic bone. So breathing into that low belly space. And exhaling fully and slowly. As you inhale, if you're able to, try to inhale through the nose. And exhale with a slight constriction in the back of the throat, similarly to how you would as if trying to fog a mirror with your breath. This is called our ujjayi breath and helps us to go even deeper into our practice. Also helps us to regulate the nervous system, to find greater focus of the mind, and decrease our heart rate and blood pressure. Inhale deep into the belly and sigh it away. Letting go of anything that isn't serving you in this moment. in order to dwell a little deeper in this blissful stillness. Take just a few more long and slow deep breaths on your own here. Let's take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, slowly begin to walk your hands back up, finding your way back into tabletop. Taking a moment, allow the body to reset. Then we're going to extend the left leg out to the side, straight out from the hip. Then we're going to reach the right arm under the chest, out to the side as the left arm reaches overhead. Here you can rest more on that bottom arm, going deeper into the shoulder, or you can twist a little deeper from the belly button to look under that top arm. So we're getting more of a spinal twist here. And again, in this pose, you can use your props here, using a bolster or pillow under the chest, so it's not quite as extreme of a back bend if you need a little extra support. Take an inhale. As you exhale, settling back into a stillness, breathing into the body, and exhaling away anything you don't need right now. Knowing that this time of intentional stillness is doing wonderful things to honor your body, your mind, to bring more peace and organization to your day. With your next exhale, gently untwist the body, finding your way back into tabletop. And then we're simply going to take it to the other side, extending the right leg straight out from the hip this time, and then threading that left arm under the chest, right arm extending ahead. And again, you can rest more on that bottom arm, going deeper into the shoulder, or you can twist at the belly button, looking under that top arm. Just be sure that your hips aren't moving much, that they're staying squared to the front of the mat, that the twisting is happening from the belly button. Again, feel free to take a peek back and check that hip alignment if you need to, making sure that they're still staying up aligned above the knees. While there are specific form tips to be aware of and things to pay attention to in this practice, it's also important to make sure you're aware that this practice is intended to be very individualized, that this is all about listening to your body, becoming aware of your own areas of tension or imbalances, and therefore maybe adjusting poses slightly in order to serve your body the best. So I always encourage my students to take micro adjustments before settling in, just moving ever so slightly, to feel out where that tension is in your body and how the pose can best serve you. If your mind has wandered, come back to that breath, inhaling deeply, exhaling fully and slowly. Just a few moments longer here. Wonderful job. When you're ready and in your own time, however is easiest for you, find your way onto your back for another short rebound. Gently tucking the shoulder blades down and back, arms at the sides, palms facing up. Once again, feel the echo of the pose, bringing your awareness inward. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and just gently turn over onto your belly for our next pose. We're going to take our open wing pose next. So beginning on our bellies, let's go ahead and extend the left arm out to the side. Plant the right fingertips on the mat. And with your next exhale, gently begin to press up with the right hand, opening the chest up toward the side. So we're targeting this left shoulder and pec area through the chest, through the front of the shoulder. So our left leg stays straight, and here we can bend the right knee, placing the foot in front of us or placing the foot behind, allowing the knee to fall away to take this twist a little deeper, go a little bit deeper into that shoulder. And another option you have is either to leave those right fingertips on the mat, or you can place that hand behind the low back here, going a little bit into the right shoulder as well. Now as we're here, take those micro adjustments. Move that left arm up or down slightly, maybe bending at the elbow to cactus the arm, turning the palm facing up or down, and just notice how these adjustments affect the sensation you're feeling. Once you have found that area that speaks to you, then settle in, dwelling in the stillness again, drawing that breath into that pec muscle, into the shoulder area. Each exhale, relaxing a little deeper into the pose, allowing the whole body to be heavy. With these long holds in our yin practice, we're targeting the fascia and connective tissue. This is one of the few ways that we can actually stretch our fascia, since it is more plastic than elastic, and it takes a long time to begin letting go. Sometimes while holding a pose, you may even notice that fascia, be able to physically feel it begin to release and let go. So again, be in the habit of listening to your body and know that time and stillness is not time wasted. We have just under a minute left here. I'm going to leave you so that you can practice going inward, embracing this stillness. Great job. With your next exhale, gently release the body. And we're just going to take it to the other side, extending the right arm out to the side now, planting the left fingertips, and beginning to peel the chest up to the left. Right side of the head just resting on the mat. And again, take whatever variation feels best for you, keeping that foot in front of the body, maybe behind the body, or perhaps even allowing that leg to stay straight behind you. Again, this is your practice. Listen to your body. Give it what it's asking for. Take any of those micro adjustments again, moving the position of that right arm slightly, up or down, turning the palm, bending at the elbow. finding your unique pose here. And as we're here, notice if this side feels any different than the first side did. Simply bringing your awareness to your own imbalances within your body. Imbalances are normal and we all have them, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they were great for us. And so part of being able to create a change, whether that's physically in our lives or mentally, emotionally, requires first having awareness of the issue, awareness of what's helping us or not helping us, getting us closer or further away from our goals. So before anything else, awareness, being still and practicing this habit is the first necessary step to sustainable change. Take an inhale, bringing your awareness back into the body, and sigh it away, fully and slowly, settling in to a deeper surrender here. Less than 1 minute left. Once again, I'll leave you here. Wonderful job with your next exhale. Gently unwind the body and simply find your way onto your back now for a final Savasana. Gently tucking the shoulder blades down and back. Arms at the sides, palms facing up. And once more, feel the echo of the pose. Noticing any shifts that have occurred in the body. Changes of your mental state or emotional reality. Without judgment, simply noticing anything that's present for you. And then again, bringing that attention to the breath as you begin to settle into a deeper state of relaxation for just a couple more minutes here. Gently begin to bring some movement back into the fingers and toes. Stretching the body in any way that feels good for you. And when you're ready, go ahead and turn onto your right side and meet me seated at the center of the mat for our final closing breath together. Just take an inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to prayer at heart center, taking just a moment to acknowledge and thank yourself for taking the time to honor your mind and body in this way today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. Next week, we have class 2 of the Yoga for Complete Beginners series, and it will be a yang focused class next week. So we will be flowing with the breath, building heat in the body. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of my latest classes. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and be sure to give it a thumbs up. Liking and subscribing are the 2 easiest and free ways to support this channel. If you do want some extra perks and more content, I do have membership options available, and you can learn more about those on my channel page. Thank you again for joining me today, and I will see you soon, my friends. Have a great day. Namaste.